Oh, What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Dead Funny Podcast. I'm your host, Chris. Joining me today is my co-host, Kelsey and JoJo. Yeah.
I have more fungus news.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I literally learned this yesterday, and it's fantastic, and you're actually going to be entertained. So everybody just, hang on to your shorts for a minute. But, okay. In various places of the East Coast and into the Midwest, it's the 17-year cicada bloom. They're coming up, they're doing their thing. And if you don't know what cicadas are, they make the trees scream for 3 months. That's what cicadas do. But there's this new fungus that is infecting cicadas as they come out of the soil, and then when they crawl up the trees or whatever's nearby, and then they shed their skin, what's happening is this cicada, this fungus, is infecting the cicada, getting inside them, rotting their asses off. Literally, their butts fall off, and then the fungus fills that space and creates a whole bunch of amphetamines. A ton of them. So what does that cicada now want to do now that it's high on meth with no ass? It wants to have sex like crazy with everything. It doesn't want to eat, it doesn't want to sleep, it doesn't want to drink water, it just wants to have sex. As much sex as it can possibly have. They've recorded males not only having sex with females, but once they run out of females in the area, they're like, I will pretend to be female in order to have sex. Like, I just need to have as much sex as possible. So, this year, 2021, we have methed up cicadas having crazy meth sex all over the place because this fungus transmits sexually. So that is my newest incredibly fun fungus news. Welcome everybody to the Dead Funny Podcast.
Can I snort the cicadas and get high?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Totally relevant question. I did not look into that because I don't do that.
when first thought we said, mix them into amphetamines, can something with that? Can I sell cicadas?
But were you expecting, amphetamine sex-crazed cicadas for May 2021?
No.
Did you have that on your bingo card? Because I didn't.
Expecting the fucking nightmare from over 17 years ago, I guess. I barely remember it, but, I've been through it before, for sure.
Yeah.
It feels like a very Alien versus Predator, whoever wins we lose kind of thing. Like fungus versus cicada. I don't know. I don't want either of these things.
No, but when we talk about the crazy things that fungus can do, multiple funguses infect living creatures in multiple ways. Ants drive away, when a fungus infects an ant, it drives it to a certain body of water to allow it to spread in that body of water. Now we've got cicada fungus that makes it a sexually transmitted fungus that goes around. So when we talk about fungus and we're like, fungus don't scare me, it's just a mushroom, no, it fucking isn't. We're just waiting for one that controls human brains. And then imagine us amped on fungal meth in our brains trying to have sex with everything and our asses fall off. Bad news bears.
I'm trying to envision an ass simply falling off and that not resulting in you bleeding to death?
It does get replaced by fungus in the case of the cicada.
Oh, okay.
So if you have a cicada at your house and you look at it and it's got a normal cicada body and then it just has this white substance where the butt would be, that's a fungal cicada. That one has been infected with the fungus and all it wants to do is be high on meth and fuck everything.
See, I've loosely known about this stuff since 1998 because there's 2 Pokemon that are just a bug infected with a big mushroom on their back. Paris and Parasect. They were using that 20 years ago.
They were using it before it was cool.
Not right.
There you go.
Interesting. So that's
educational.
That is hopefully my last fungal news ever, but since it came up again, I was like, no, we have to update everybody on the newest fungus thing.
I just feel bad because...
That's way less foreboding than the last time.
Yeah. I just feel bad because it was my anime high of talking about my favorite series being back. And I just had to bring up the fact that one of them had a mushroom quirk. And then that was it. That was game over. Which, by the way, her mushroom quirk was just to cover people in mushrooms because they were going up against somebody who was invisible. So it could connect to any life form. And they could see her at all times. She was completely covered in mushrooms from head to toe. so that way they could know where she was at all times. And then there was a deadly. Well, actually, what's actually cool about Chick? So first off, she walks around with 2 guns just to make things, more humid.
She's a gun bunny, in addition to being Mushroom Woman.
Well, no, it just shoots water. She's just everything around her needs to be moist, so that way she can just grow fungus all over the place. Yeah,
ew.
That's all it does. Yeah, it's just little. She goes around doing that. Anyways, but depending on where, so her body releases spores, and these spores then grow into mushrooms wherever they go. Depending on where the spore comes from her body, is the different kind of mushroom that grows. And she actually has a deadly one that can choke you out and go like into your lungs and make you stop breathing and stuff in her mouth. So whenever she opens her mouth, she breathes out the spores, because that's how she ended up fucking beating Tokiyami, who's a fucking beast. Yeah, he thought he captured them in one, and then all of a sudden he started choking. He's like, what is this? And fucking he looked up and there was this different mushroom, and she just started smiling. And then it started talking about the quirk that she can do by releasing the spores out of her mouth. And I was like, shit. So
2 things. You can absolutely get mushrooms in your lungs, so that is truthful. That's fucking horrifying. Also, I mean, fungus is such an unknown scientific thing. Like, we do not fully understand, because it's part animal, it's part like plant, enough to where most people are like, I know what a mushroom is. I put it in my salads every now and then, and sometimes in my stroganoff when I'm feeling foreign. But
wait, what is this southerner who eats a lot?
I like how it automatically, if it was a dumb person, it had to be a southerner. And like for her to talk about an idiotic person with mushrooms, she had to put on a southern accent.
I would like to point out that is not a great southern accent, and I'm definitely not going after anybody in particular. Also, the most actually, I feel like that's closer to a Montanan accent, which is much closer to where I'm from. Either way, most people don't realize how unique fungus are, and so if you were going to make a fungally talented anime character, the limit to what you can do is almost endless. And so I'm really disappointed that they're just like, she can cover things in mushrooms.
Well, once again, I mean, this was just the opener. They don't tell you all the quirks to the students, because then that basically writes them out future. She could come into handy way later on. She's like, she's been working on her quirk and developed this new mushroom that can do this.
That
like, it's
control
always
brains,
about
like,
exactly.
Her butt mushroom.
She has to, yeah.
Butt mushroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it depends on where it comes from on her body. So, last place you'd look.
Yep.
Have you guys ever seen, on a totally different subject related to what we were talking about with your like spray bottles of mist to make sure it's constantly moist around her? Have you guys ever seen?
They're not mine. They're hers.
Have you guys ever seen Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog?
Yeah. Back when it happened, which was like 15 years ago. So now
forever ago.
Not recently. It's absolutely wonderful. If you are watching this podcast and you have not seen it, please go check it out, because it's truly it's fantastic.
I don't know how many people, as far as like actor and actress wise, that I've watched in something that was like old when it came out, obviously, and like followed almost every major person through their entire career. Like, I can't think of a thing besides Firefly that I haven't seen Nathan Fillion in. I've watched Felicia Day through fucking everything. The Guild, Supernatural, whatever the fuck she's been in, I've watched it. And
Guild.
Same thing with fucking Neil Patrick Harris as well. Like, that dude's fucking amazing.
How many episodes of Doogie Howser have you seen?
Yeah, man, dude. I can tell you this much. I want to say all, but probably not. But
wow, okay, cool.
It's one of those things, dude, where it's like, if I like somebody enough, I'll sit down and I'll suffer. I will. Whenever I first watched Clerks, it was because I saw the animated version of it, and I was like, Randall is so fucking cool. You know how hard it is as a kid to sit there and watch a black and white movie because you want to. You know what I mean? You know how hard that is to do? And I was just all like, fuck it, let's do it. And then I watched it, and I was like, oh, this is fucking amazing. Like, I'll fucking sit through some shit.
That Clerks animated series is such a weird thing, because like 6 episodes of it or something. Like,
yeah,
it
it's
barely
super
happened.
short.
For some I don't know where it
so
aired.
good.
I caught it at some point and just saw the one. All I know of it anymore is the part where there's a bear driving a car, and they're like, who is driving? Bear is driving! How can that be? And that's it. And they're doing like an anime parody. It's really weird. Yeah, I don't know. But, like, that existed.
I think that's the episode where like they're too scared to go outside, and it's one of those things where it's like they keep trying to think like what, because they keep getting told you can't go outside, you can't go outside, you can't go outside, and they're all like thinking like what the hell's going on there. So they're doing like these down the rabbit hole different universes every time they think about a new thing that's possibly going on outside, and then they finally do, and they go outside and it's just completely white. There's no buildings, no grass, no nothing. It's just white. And then they look up and the animator's like, yeah, I forgot to draw the scene here, so you're just kind of on a white page. And then that's how the episode ends. It's so good.
Must have just been going down Comedy Central or something at some point, like, because I died seeing it, but, like,
they released it as a box set, and I think that's where I saw it. My dad bought like the actual box, even though it was like 6 episodes. My dad bought it, and that's where I watched it the first time. And I was like, "This is fucking amazing." My dad was like, "You should try out Clerks," and then I was watching it. I was like, "This is black and white. This is boring as fuck to me.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch this at all." And now I love it. I was talking to my girlfriend's parents the other day, and it reminded me of this fucking part in Clerks where they're sitting there talking, and it's like, it just makes you really appreciate how brilliantly written that fucking show was. Like, they're sitting there having a conversation about the fucking Death Star, and they're all like, you know what? Everybody thinks Luke is a hero, but he's actually not. He's kind of an asshole. I mean, think about like how many innocent people he killed. And they're like, what do you mean? It's like, well, think about it. Your fucking average stormtrooper that fucking misses his lasers all the fucking time can't install a full plumbing system for a toilet. So there had to be independent contractors and shit on there and roofers and stuff like this. They didn't know what the fuck they were getting into. They were just given a fucking job to make some money. They're trying to make money to put food on the table for their wife and their kids. They didn't sign up for all that. And then some fucking jackass kid, hotshot kid shows up out of nowhere and just blows the whole fucking thing up and kills everybody. And I was like, no fucking way, dude. I mean, it's just so good. Oh my god. I was like, I've never really cared more to hear about a whole fucking plumbing system for the Death Star than right now. Like, this is great.
It turns out they did air it on Comedy Central and Adult
It did?
Swim at some point. So
Okay.
I just called it.
Makes sense.
A wild.
I could see it
Yeah,
on
I
both of
remember
those.
it being good.
Yeah.
It did bother the hell out of, like, it has always bothered the hell out of me when characters are like, I will, and even in video games, characters like, I will slay everybody between me and the final boss. And then you get to the final boss and somebody's like, no, it's not worth it. Don't let it hurt your soul, the weight of murder. And the person's like, you're not worth it. You're going to see the light of jail, and you're going to, like, spend the rest of your life being held accountable for your actions. Like, you just killed every fucking bodyguard who is way less evil than this guy, but this guy you're going to let go because you can't have that on your soul? Are you kidding me? You have made bad choices, bitch. Bad choices.
All the way through. All the way through.
Major
I guess they try to justify it that, like, those guys are shooting at you when you're shooting them, and usually this boss situation is like, you beat them, and it's a choice between just fucking, like, executing them and doing whatever. But yes, absolutely, like, characters end up murdering a ton of people.
Yeah, just an epic fuck ton of people, and they're like, well, we don't care about the bodyguard, but we do care about the effect on our soul of murdering this guy. Like, nope. If your soul isn't affected by killing the other guys.
What's the bodyguard's name? Who cares? Not a real guy.
Right.
So yeah, just because he doesn't have a global effect, therefore means he's irrelevant. That can fuck right the fuck off.
Exactly.
But how we got here originally with talking about Dr. Horrible's Sing-Along Blog.
Oh, yeah.
I had a friend that went to a college frat party on Halloween. He went as Moist. Moist is a character that his major superpower is just constantly being wet. he is constantly sweating. So he went as Moist. So he would he had a water ball and he'd spray himself down before he went somewhere to be like, "Hi, I'm Moist." And then it would be funny for the hand grab when he would shake someone's hand and they're just like, "Oh yeah, you're gross," and then they'd move on. But we we went below to actually dance in the basement of this frat party, and somebody brushed up against him that was going as I don't know what, but it was shirtless. It was a shirtless man that was showing off the fact I'm a character that has a six-pack, that's what I'm here to do. And he brushed up against my friend that had been squirting himself down with a water bottle all night long. So when he finally brushed up against him, this guy yelled over the top of all of the music in the middle of a frat party "There is a gross fucking motherfucking sweaty man in here! What is this?" And my friend, trying to defend himself as not hideously gross, pulled out a water, his spritz bottle, and he's like, "No, it's a spritz bottle!" Right in this guy's face.
Jesus.
And it was amazing actually, JoJo. You know this guy, his name, you know him by the name Robot Kid.
Oh,
But
yes.
yeah, you do know this guy. But it was amazing because this guy immediately like backed off and he's like, "No, it's a great!" Like he started yelling over the music and he's like, "It's a great Halloween costume." The guy's bump fist and you could see like the shirtless man with the six-pack like pull it back and like shake it off because it was also moist and go back to dancing with women. It was pretty amazing. One of my all-time favorite frat party moments. It was pretty good.
Whenever she talks about that, I'm pretty sure she never saw the show, and if she did, she fucking didn't give it more than like 5 minutes. But Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Excuse me?
Aqua Teen Hunger Force, JoJo. Oh my god. That just reminds me of the fucking Meatwad whenever he does the whole "when I get pissed, you get missed." Exactly. There you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, I just love Meatwad. He's like, "When I get pissed, you get missed."
Yeah,
and
man.
he squeezes his little bottle. I was watching an episode of that the other day. It was probably my favorite episode whenever they do the whole Moonanite thing, and he's wanting to be like the moon, the moon master is what it is. And so he's like, he's sitting there and he's just like, because that's what it was. I was playing Resident Evil 8, and every time somebody would come up to me and I'd kill them, I'd be like, "Oh, so you just thought you was gonna waltz out here and face a true warrior?" And my girlfriend's like, "What the fuck is that from?" So I showed her, and it's fucking whatever Meatwad. He's like, "Shake, shake, shake, shake." If Shake finally comes out, he's like, "What do you want?" He's like, "Oh, so you're just gonna waltz out here and face a true warrior?" And it's wearing like all this dollar store soldier armor and shit. And then Shake just closes the door, and he's all like, "Shake, shake, shake, shake." He comes back out, and then he's got this plastic dollar store sword. And I love this because I used to say this during Halo all the time. I got the sword. He pulled out this fucking plastic sword, and fucking Shake blows it in half with a shotgun. He's like, "There, has he been faced?" And then he's like, "The lunar scepter. There's only but one in the whole known galaxy. Good thing I bought the 3-pack." Oh my god. So I would do that all the time. I'd pick up the sword. I was like, the lunar scepter. There's only one in the whole known galaxy. Then I would die and I'd be like, "Well, good thing I bought the 3-pack. Oh, I love that fucking show, dude. Oh god. That show is so good. But
they're bringing it back, sort of.
Are they?
They're doing a digital-only series of like episodes about the side character, like the Moonanites and some other stuff. They just announced it. It's called like Aqua Donk Side Pieces. Something ridiculous.
I love Space Catats, dude. Space Catats is so good. Yeah. Oh, all Moonanite content. Is my guy, dude. Fucking love him. He's such an asshole. I love him. He's so good.
Do you know that about the incident where Aqua Teen Hunger Force like shut down Boston accidentally?
I don't know what the fuck Aqua Teen Hunger Force is.
Okay, it was a TV show on Adult Swim, 15 minutes long, and it had these characters, the Meatwad and Frylock. It's a ridiculous thing.
Can you hold up your things again to show me the characters so I have some idea? Because at this point I'm picturing a weird meatball.
Yes, that's exactly what you... Yeah. So there's two Moonanites there. There's a little purple guy at the top of his head. His name is That's my favorite character.
This is Master Shake.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Meatwad. A ball of meat.
So, at some point in the late 2000s, whenever they're doing a movie, they put up some things like the Moonanites around Boston. And Adult Swim, I mean, the people doing it obviously knew what it was, and it was just things. But, like, the people of Boston, like, this is a somewhat popular show among a niche audience, you know, millions of people maybe, but not like a mainstream thing necessarily.
Not mainstream enough to not make it weird.
A lot of people saw this and thought, what the fuck is that? And maybe like called the police, and there were like, at some point someone got the idea that maybe this was like a bomb or something, like, and so they like shut down a part of the city to like address what it was, and then it's like, no, it's just like a sticker of a Moonanite from Aqua Teen Hunger Force to advertise their dumb movie.
Their movie was amazing.
the people that are in the know are not the same people that are making decisions. Like,
Oh, yeah, no.
they're the people way low on this whole totem pole, and so those people are just like, oh, I know what the fuck this is, but the people making decisions are not going to consult with them to be like, do you know what this is? They're just going to make decisions off of, like, fear and a desire to keep, like, an abundance of caution, basically. And
Yeah, and the people,
the people at
who
the
would
bottom
know
are
what
like...
it was, like, at the time especially, the movie, I think this was for the movie, and it came out in 2007. So it would have been, you know, like people who were, like, 20 or, like, teenagers, like, that was, it didn't, like, my mom watched it sometimes, like, but, like, it was not necessarily a big thing among her demographic. So, like, you wouldn't expect a lot of cops to know it at that time.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Grown up on it.
Yeah, and it was so good. I've got to say, my favorite part about the movie, which I thought was hilarious, was that they did the whole, like, the snacks coming out and singing, doing the whole, like, you know, turn your cell phone off song, da 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 da, and then it's like, it's your classic, like, hot dog and shake and fucking popcorn, and they're all doing the whole, like, you know, fucking 60s shit, and then they, like, get all the way up to the top, and then, like, they had made another snack, like, singing group, but it was like a heavy metal rock group, and a lot of the snacks looked like they were based off, like, the members of Disturbed. Like, the lead singer had, like, all the same piercings and shit. Yeah, and so, like, fucking they're like just staring at them, and then they're like, all of a sudden the 60s go to start singing again, and then the lead singer, the rock one, just like fucking headbutts the main one and knocks them the fuck out, and all of a sudden these strobe lights start going, and they're starting to fucking sing it. Like, the first of their song was like, don't talk, watch, da 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 da, don't talk, watch, da 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 da, and it's like, you came here to watch it, you don't like it, walk out. And then all of a sudden it's like, we still have all your fucking money, and then they start going to this whole fucking song, and I was like, oh my god. Oh, it was so good. Oh, I fucking love that shit. It was great. But
That is genuinely very funny.
speaking of movies, me and my girlfriend went to go see her parents, and they were watching The Little Tyke. So this is our first chance to kind of like go out and have like a date night, because since her surgery, we haven't been wanting her to take her anywhere public, you know, with recovery and stuff like that. No one are getting sick.
Yeah.
And we've been wanting to watch a movie that came out because we're super into the fucking anime. So Demon Slayer came out with a movie called Mugen Train. I know Kelsey doesn't watch Demon Slayer. JoJo, I don't think you watch Demon Slayer.
I have absolutely no idea about it.
I cried my fucking eyes out. Like,
Oh,
literally,
wow, really?
me and Megan are both in the fucking movie theater just fucking bawling. Like, the entire, like, back half of this fucking movie. Just fucking crying our eyes out. It killed off my favorite character. I wasn't happy about that. I was so excited to go see this fucking movie. Like, as soon as we got there, her parents were all like, all right, fuck off. Like, go do something. And I was like, sweet. She's like, what do you want to do? And I was like, let's find a fucking theater that's playing Mugen Train. Let's go. Like, let's go watch Mugen Train. And that's exactly, we literally found one. It was like playing in like 5 minutes. And the fucking theater was like 10 minutes away. And I was like, let's go. Like, so we got all the way over there. And we're watching it, and oh man, it was just such a good fucking movie. Very well done. I mean, once again, this anime is really like, well, first off, this anime is top of the list. So like, whenever it released, it got beat out by Mortal Kombat barely in the States. But like worldwide, I think this movie made like over fucking like 50 something million or something. It like blew out worldwide. Like, everybody was fucking watching this movie because the anime is just so fucking popular. And I was just,
For everybody on the show except for you.
yeah. So
Sorry.
I've seen like 3 animes in my life, honestly.
it's so good. Oh my god, it's so good. So, and I was not watching it for a while, and then finally it just got to the point where I was like, all right, I need to fucking pick it up. Everybody's talking about it. Da 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 da. My Hero Academia wasn't on, and I was like, fuck it. So I picked it up and watched like the first 2 episodes, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, Megan might want to watch this. So then we started watching it together. It's like, it's really cool. So what I think a lot of people are drawn to is the artistic style. So it's like a normal type anime. And there are some scenes where like whenever you're looking, it kind of feels like it has that 3D look appeal. But when they go to move and do their actual moves and shit, so their moves are dumb. The moves are completely stupid, make zero sense. All their moves are based off of breathing techniques. So like if you were grown up...
What?
I'm getting there. So, like, you were grown up with, like, you know, the element of water. you're a water fighter. So like whenever you're using your fucking katana and shit, it's all about breathing. So you control your breath, and you'll hear them say water breathing technique 1 wind wheel or something, or water wheel or something like that. And whenever they go to draw, and when they go to breathe, you'll see like the steam come out, and then they'll go to fucking pull the sword, and you'll see water coming off the blade and making these crazy ass animations. They do this really bright, vibrant like paint on the elements. So it completely stands out from anything else. Doesn't even looks like it belongs in a fucking coloring book. Like, it's crazy. Completely stands out from everything else. So whenever they're doing these like higher level moves and they start having like dragons, water dragons and shit coming out, it looks insane. And that's why a lot of people like the anime, because of the art style, but the story is just so fucking good. Oh my god.
Like,
but yeah,
is like a serious thing, or is like Dragon Ball Z tone where it's like kind of goofy?
No, it's nothing like Dragon Ball Z. This is like serious thing. Like this anime, like no joke. Like, okay, so for instance, if you want to be a demon slayer, you can't even be a demon slayer unless you find someone who was already a demon slayer to train you. They have to want to train you. So you train, and then if they feel that you're appropriate, they give you an invitation to go to this mountain. This mountain has a forest that only goes halfway up. And it's these pink trees. And they give off this special kind of scent, I guess, that is like toxic to demons. So demons can't pass through these kind of trees. It's the only kind of tree in the world. And it grows on this mountain and literally stays all year long, to where everywhere else where it grows, it's only seasonal. Demons can't be out in sunlight. They start to burn and die and fade away. And the only way to kill a demon besides that is decapitating them. You have to completely take their head off. It's the only way to kill a demon. And some higher ranked demons can even fucking outlive that shit. So
not much can live through having your head removed. So that's kind of
right.
surprising.
Yeah, it's like, I think they call them the higher 6. So there's the upper 3 and the lower 3. And these are like the top 6 demons. And like, we have not seen anything out of the top 3 until this movie. We actually saw the third, like the top 3 guy. And like he fucking, that's who killed my favorite character. And I was just like, no. But anyways, so demon slayers, if they get a chance, they'll actually try to knock these demons unconscious, capture them, and then take them to that mountain. And the reason why is because as a new demon slayer, you're thrown out past that forest. And you have to try to survive for, I think it's a week out there. And if you come back alive, then you're a demon slayer. If you can't come back alive, then you're dead. So, yeah.
Do they train them before they throw them out, or is this kind of a coming-of-age Robin Scherbatsky style?
Well, that's what I told you. You had to find somebody that was a demon slayer that was willing to train you. And then they train you, and if they feel that it's appropriate for you to go, then they'll send you. So, but there's like so many people who are like, so many dead people. Like there's just so many, like you see, because like each house has their own like mask or whatever that they wear just to the mountain. After that, they never wear the mask again. And like the one that we were watching was like the fox mask. Kind of looked like the Keaton mask from Majora's Mask, which both of you know at this point. So it looked like the Keaton mask. Yeah. And like the main guy, Tanjiro, gets out there and he's looking around and he's just like, you just see like all these fucking fox masks just broken and blood all over them and stuff. And it's just like, how many have died? It's insane. So yeah. So like I said, it's a pretty serious anime as far as that goes. But yeah, it's so good. And I was just so upset because like we've only seen my favorite character in like little scenes, because he's called a Hashira, and a Hashira is like these elite 12 who are the top demon slayers. And so we've only seen him a couple times, and I was like, I did all this research on him without spoiling myself, and I was like, this is my guy. Rengoku is my guy. Let's go. And then, man, when he died, it was so fucking sad. I was bawling my eyes out, and I think the biggest reason why, because it was like his dad was a flame Hashira before him, and then the mom died due to cancer, and so the dad just like lost all ability to be like, he's like, nothing's worth anything. Like, I did all this saving, my wife's, the person who meant the most to me, still died. It doesn't matter. Like, nothing is worth anything. So like he just stopped. And so his son was still wanting to be a Hashira due to the fact that his mom was like, if you were born strong, you were given a gift. It is your responsibility to use that to help whoever you can, however you can. And he's trying to pass that along to his little brother, and their dad's just kind of like, it doesn't matter. So whenever he became a Hashira, he was like so excited to tell his dad, and his dad was all like, doesn't mean anything. You won't amount to anything anyway, so what does it matter?
Whoa, he can
Right.
fuck off. What kind of nonsense is that?
So then the older brother, Rengoku, had to take his little brother outside. It's like, no matter what he says, whatever your heart is telling you to do, that's what you need to put all your focus and time in. If you want to be a Hashira, then you need to go for it. Doesn't matter what he says. And so I think this is the reason why it got me, because there was such a strong connection to Final Fantasy VII with this end scene. So he dies and he's looking forward and you see his mom. And his mom's just staring at him with a blank face. And then he says, literally just like this, he goes, "Did I do it, Mom? Did I live out my purpose?" Because the demon, I mean, the fight scene was fucking phenomenal, by the way. Like, all the three actual main characters who are trying to become Hashira, like the main little demon slayers are following around, they're literally, like, watching this fight go on. And one of them is like I'm the fucking boss. Like, nobody can beat me type situation. He even literally is sitting there shaking. And he's like, I would love to jump in. He's like, I can't even keep track of them with my eyes. So I know if I got in, I wouldn't know, one, where to attack, and two, I would just slow him down and get in his way. And I mean, there's just so much going. And like, what I really like about this anime is like, they show the aspect of power, like whenever you're truly outpowered, like how it's working. So like whenever the demon's fighting him, like Rengoku's like chopping his fucking arms off and shit. The demon's growing him back within like 3 seconds. Like his regeneration is just stupid. And so like he hits Rengoku in like the fucking left side and he's all like shattering ribs and fucking actually puncturing vital organs and shit. Then he like completely crushes his whole left fucking eyeball out. Like all kinds, like fucks him up. And so they wanted his death in the movie to be exactly the same as the manga. So the actual piece of the manga literally was drawn directly into the movie, where like all this dust is going up and like Rengoku had like went for the decapitation and the demon like slapped the blade down so it cut down into the demon. You're like, fuck. And then Rengoku turns it upside down, the blade upside down, and comes right back up his head. And then all of a sudden smoke's everywhere. And Tanjiro's like, I can't see anything. I don't know what happened. And then all of a sudden you go to see, and the demon had moved his head. And so the blade's just sticking halfway out of his neck. So he didn't decapitate him. But the demon has punched completely through Rengoku's body. So his arm is literally coming out the back of him. And you're just like, fuck. Like, oh my, no. But even then, the demon's like, look, and he's like, so you're not even going to fight anymore? And like the demon's whole thing was just wanting to show the demon slayers that he can break anybody's will. He didn't come there just to kill Rengoku. He's like, Rengoku is your strongest Hashira. Become a demon. Tell me you want to be a demon, and I can make you a demon. And me and you can take over the world. You'll be one of the upper 3 within seconds. And Rengoku's like, no, it's not going to happen. I am a demon slayer. And I love the way he talks too, because it's not like that. Like it was like, become a demon. He's all like, let me tell you something, demon. I don't like you. And because of that, I will never become a demon. And I was just like, just the way he talks is just great. So like all of a sudden the demon notices the sun's coming up. And so he's all like, with these wounds, you're going to die. Tell me you want to be a demon now. Time is running out. Tell me you want to be a demon now. And he's all like, I will never be a demon. So the demon goes to punch him to finish him off, and he catches his fucking hand. So he's still holding the sword with this hand, catches this hand. The demon goes to pull out, and Rengoku flexes to where the demon can't pull his arm out. So he's planning on killing the demon right here with the sun coming up. And then fucking the demon literally just fucking breaks off his own fucking arms and runs off into the woods. And that was like the best part of the movie, because like the demon's like, obviously this battle was already mine. I knew that from the get-go. You weren't going to beat me. And then Tanjiro's like sitting there crying and shit because Rengoku's dying. And he's all like, Rengoku did what he was supposed to do. He protected everybody in the train. You didn't kill a single person. You didn't win anything. And then that leads Rengoku to do did I do what I was supposed to do, Mom? And that scene right there just reminded me so much of Zack going, did I become a hero? And I was lost it. I was bawling my fucking eyes out. Oh my god, it was so sad. I was like, fuck, man. It was like the first movie I've seen since the fucking pandemic, and it fucking bawling my eyes out in the fucking theater. I was so mad. I was like, oh, but it was so good though. It was so good. The fight scenes were fucking amazing. Man, that demon was no joke. He was so fucking fast. And I mean, like, fucking literally, Rengoku cut his arm off, and within 3 seconds, that whole thing was back. No fucks given. This demon was
That would be
ridiculous.
disheartening. I would find that challenging if in a fight I was like, all right, you're being limbless, and then he just grew it back and be like, oh no, this is how I die.
Yeah, well, and he kept trying to use that as his point to become a demon. He's all like, I could keep regenerating. You will not win this fight. Become a demon. Show your true power. Let your true instincts come out. Be able to actually access and harness your true power. You can only do it if you become a demon. And he just kept saying, no, no, no. And he kept pointing out, and he's like, I've already shattered your ribs. I've punctured your lungs. You can barely breathe it is. Your eye will never recover. You'll be blind in one eye forever. Become a demon. I can completely heal you. And he's still like, no. Like, just absolutely, I will not falter. I was like, my fucking dude, yes, let's go. He's such a badass. He's so good. Oh my god. But the most interesting part of the anime that everybody's talking about, which I thought was really cool, which was a very interesting scene, and they actually talked about the fact that they were kind of scared to release this at first because it is a suicide thing. So in the actual anime, you're running through, and the main demon, he's able to put people to sleep within an instant. Tanjiro finds this out, and the only way to get out of the dream is to commit suicide in the dream. So he keeps decapitating himself over and over and over again. So like, you just keep seeing the scene over and over and over again in order for him to get up. And that was the scary part, because I actually didn't see this coming, because I didn't think about it. I was like, oh man, dude, he just keeps that, because like, it would, boom, he's asleep, boom, he's awake, boom, he's asleep, boom, he's awake. Like, he was doing it that quick. He was figuring out he's in a dream that fast. And then he keeps doing it, and then all of a sudden you see him about to cut off his own head because he thinks he's in a dream. I was
gonna say, yeah.
Yeah. And then Inosuke jumps over and fucking takes his fucking katana from him, and he's like, you're awake, don't fall for his fucking plan. And I was just like, holy shit. And they talked about the fact that they had a lot of, you know, treading on really dangerous waters here, with that being like the crux of being able to beat this demon was by committing suicide about 1,000 fucking times. So yeah, it's pretty intense. It was very intense, but yeah, the anime is widely loved by everybody, and this movie has like outstanding reviews. Such a fucking good movie. Highly recommend you go watch it if you like Demon Slayer. So fucking good. It's only got 1 season out right now, so it's not a big watch. Waiting for season 2. This was supposed to gear us up for season 2. So, but they have a lot of comic relief to it. Like when Rengoku died, fucking Inosuke, he's kind of like this wild person. Like, that's the way to look at him. The dude that's like, I could fucking beat anybody. Like, everybody has like all these elements they fall under with their breathing techniques. He was self-taught. He's a self-taught demon slayer. So he does beast breathing is what he calls it. So you've probably actually seen pictures of this character. He literally has no shirt on, and he's got a boar head and 2 katanas. You might have seen pictures of this character. His name's Inosuke from Demon Slayer. But so he's like just this fucking dude that's like, I will fucking beat everybody. You can't fucking beat me. I'm the best demon slayer. Da 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 da. And he just got real big with like cosplay and shit like that. That's why I thought maybe you might have seen him. He got like real big into the cosplay thing. So many people were all like, I'm boarhead for fucking this convention. Da 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 da. And he's sitting there. And like Tanjiro's crying, Zenitsu's crying for fucking Rengoku because he's dead, and then fucking all of a sudden they look at him and they're like, "Are you crying?" And Inosuke is like, "No, I'm not crying." You see him like running, and there's tears coming out of the boar fucking head and stuff like that, and he's like welling his arms and shit. He's like, "I'm never crying," shit like he does a really good job playing the comic relief. But yeah, it was just funny because they were doing this whole thing. Like I said, they were asleep, and so basically, if you were asleep, like say like, you know, if we were in the movie, I could tie a rope from Kelsey to me, and that would allow me to invade her dreams. And then while she's asleep, I'm supposed to go through her mind and find out where her essence is, break through her dream world, get to her essence, and then destroy that. And then she dies as a person. Like, she's done. That's it. She's just a blank slate.
There's no more in real life.
Yeah, there's no more Kelsey. Well, you don't die. You're just a blank slate. Now the demon gets to control. And then now you're the next person who's going to be tying your rope to somebody to fucking take them out. So on and so forth. And when they were doing it on Zenitsu, which is probably the dumbest person. So like he's a coward. He's just a big coward. Should never been a demon slayer. The reason why he's a demon slayer is because he's part of the Thunder Clan. And whenever he gets so scared, he passes out. And whenever he's asleep, his subconscious is a badass. So he fucks shit up. Like, he is such a badass.
I love that.
He's in love with this chick. And goddamn, I can't even think of her name right now. But anyways, he's in love with this chick who is actually Tanjiro's little sister. And so they go to start walking around in his mind, and it's just blank. It's just this all black everywhere. And all of a sudden you see this psychotic version of him like get up behind them with like this pair of fucking shears, and it's a guy. And he's like, "What are you doing here? Only she belongs in my subconscious. You're not supposed to be here." He's like chasing them around with the fucking gigantic thing of shears. And like, this dude's fucking crazy. It was so fucking funny. I was like, oh my god. So there's only room for her. And I was like, no fucking way. Oh my gosh. So it's a pretty interesting anime. Like I said,
Anime is a lot, man.
Yeah.
Stuff going on.
It is.
Seems like a lot.
It is.
kind of enough of it. Like every couple years, I play a Persona game. That's like 100 hours of some pretty anime shit, and kind of covers me for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I want to be able to just die because, like, I've got a subscription to VRV, I've got a subscription to Funimation. Like, I have so much anime at my fingertips, and I want to be able to just dive in. All my friends are constantly like, "Oh, check this out! Oh, check this out!" And I just recently started rewatching Attack on Titan because I only saw the first season, and everybody's like, "This is the best anime of all fucking time," and I'm like, "There's got to be a reason why I don't like it. Why do I not like it?" So I started watching season 2, and I was like, Season 1 was just fucking terrible. Season 2 is fucking amazing. I was like, all right, I'm back in. That is the most depressing fucking anime of all time. Of all time. People die every fucking episode. Every episode. And they set every episode up like, these are all your main characters. And then it's like the next episode, and like half of them are dead. You're like, what the fuck is happening? Like, so many people die in this anime, and you're just like, holy shit. Like, I don't even think the main character is going to be alive by the end of it. I'm like, fucking A. Like, everybody's dying. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, the last year has kind of killed my interest that's like elite that way. But, like, the new last season of that Castlevania show on Netflix is out, and I'm like, that show gets kind of dark, and I'm not sure if I actually want to watch anymore.
I want to watch it for the animation. I don't know if you've heard this or not. I sent it to Kelsey through Slack. The guy who animated that is making a full-on pitch to Nintendo to do a Legend of Zelda series for Netflix.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, I mean, because
a full Legend of Zelda anime.
Awesome. Like, I watched the first 3.
Mm-hmm.
The third
I'm
season
down.
Felt like it was outdoing itself to be, it's like, oh, we were dark before, now we need to shock you by just being pointlessly dark in arbitrary ways, and so, like, I'm worried about the last one, but it looks very good, and it's very well, voiced and stuff. It's a generally very good thing, and so, yeah, I would absolutely watch something else that did.
If they do Zelda, oh my, I mean, think about it.
I think they're planning to do more Castlevania, just not of this time period, also.
Yeah. I want to get into it for sure.
Been interesting watching media preferences over the last year or so change from, like, I'm interested in the hardcore, the gritty, the bleak, the intense, the politically challenging, to being like, people be like, I just want to be happy for 10 fucking minutes. I know that I enjoy political dramas like crazy. Like, politics is a big thing that I care about. And there became a point right around January of this year where I'm just like, or about January of last year, excuse me, where I'm just like, nope, can't fucking do it. Cannot fucking do it. Cannot anymore. I don't want politics. And Scott's like, do you want to watch this political thing? And I'm like, I want to watch a rerun of Friends. Like, fuck off. I can't. Like, bring me things like Friends, Parks and Rec, How I Met Your Mother. Like, let's make this nice, and, like, I want one-liners, I want funny, and I want chill. Like,
right, yeah, I fully rewatched Parks and Rec and Community and 30 Rock and other stuff.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just behind on things that are new. And
But a lot of, like, a bunch of new movies came out with an express, like, bleak atmosphere, and the people in charge of it were just like, now is not the moment for that, so we're just gonna back that off for a little bit of time.
Yeah, I need that Fast and Furious movie to come out.
I was so excited for that. I am still excited for that. I am...
Dumb garbage.
Poor Scott, like, a year and a half ago, I cornered him, and I'm just like, I really want to watch Fast and Furious, and he's like, you don't care about those, and I'm like, I don't think you understand. I want to watch it, and I know I don't care about cars. This isn't about cars. This is about...
You don't have to care about cars. Those movies are...
I was like, this is about enjoying, like, CGI explosions. Like, let's fucking go. And I have loved every single one of them.
After the third one, probably, those things stop being about cars in any meaningful sense.
Oh, absolutely. So we watched them, and Scott's like, you hated it, right? And I'm like, I'm in love with almost every moment of this. I am so happy. And he's like, are you going to drag me to fight, like, Fast and Furious from this point onward? I'm like, yes, that will be my job. If you're not dragging me there, I'm dragging you. Let's go.
Ugh. No.
Judge all you want, my dude.
I started out being a big Fast and the Furious fan. I mean, I love, like, basically everybody that's in there. I mean, even when they put my boy Tyrese in a movie, I was like, let's go. I mean, he coined Ejectocito, cuz. Like, that was so good. So good.
Yeah, good. Those movies were good in one way, where they were like
I could
not
care less
good.
about it now. I actually had a
And
buddy
then,
who was like diehard for this shit, and I was just like, how? Fucking like he buys the steel cases and everything else that comes out about like he is all about it, and I was just like, bruh, those movies are fucking terrible.
oh,
Like,
and
I hate them.
the fifth movie took a turn where it went from I ironically enjoy this to holy shit, this is just awesome. The coolest
Yes.
thing ever. They're pulling a safe through Brazil.
Yes.
Cars. And a lady and Gal Gadot falling off a plane.
Love that.
Oh,
I'm so
Yeah.
with you. Everything you just said, I completely agree with.
No, can't do it. I tried. Can't do it.
You don't have to. JoJo and I will do it. We'll take care of that for you.
yeah.
I will say there was one moment that was really lighthearted that I enjoyed a lot about the background behind. It's whenever The Rock comes walking in, they're all doing the whole like family barbecue or whatever, and he makes that fucking joke. I can't remember what the joke was, but I think the joke was on Ludacris, and Tyrese literally spits his water out, and it's because it was completely improv, and like it was so good, and I can't remember what it was. Oh my gosh. Because I think Ludacris makes some joke about his muscles, about like steroids or something like that, and then he says something about his like face or something like that, and then fucking Tyrese just spits water out like dead fucking middle of him drinking, and it was like, yeah, this was all improv by Dwayne. He just fucking just out of nowhere. I love Dwayne. Like he's such a good actor.
Yeah, and that's the tragic thing about that series now is that Vin Diesel and The Rock had a falling out.
Oh yeah.
Like, they can't
Oh
be on
no,
screen.
beef.
That's why they got Hobbs and Shaw, because
Beef.
those two guys can't be in a room together anymore. So The Rock
Wait.
is spinoff.
No, really?
Apparently.
Yes, genuinely. Like, I mean, it's something about like Vin Diesel just being too full of himself or something, and not being okay with how Rock being more famous or something. Like, I don't know exactly what it was, but there is drama behind the scene, and like
For his
There's-
part, Vin Diesel said the feud was about two alphas butting heads, but reports flew that Dwayne was late to set, so Vin was letting his ego control his producing, and that the two refused to film scenes together on the Fate of the Furious. It's not easy always being an alpha, especially when there's two. So
yeah, there's at least like one scene in one of those movies where it's shot in such a way that it definitely looks like those two guys they're having a conversation. They were not having a conversation when they filmed. They were two guys in separate places, or in the same place at different times, together.
Oh.
Those guys can't be around each other anymore.
I am so okay. So I have when I work out and I'm doing really like crazy hard workouts that are hard for me. I realize I have string arms, but like they're hard for me. I'm working on it. I'm growing. Everybody, like it's whenever I want to give up, it's The Rock that I have in my head. Like get your shit together and like bring your A game, goddammit. And I'm just like, of course, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I will bring my A game. Like let's fucking
you
go
know.
in these deadlifts. Like he's the person that I have in my head. But the idea, I hate any and all like alpha male talk because I want to kick the bulk of that right in the nuts and be like, this is inappropriate. This is not even you approaching a situation with your ability as a human being to communicate and you putting that ability to communicate front and center. This is you deciding that you're going to posture rather than communicate, and that is beneath you as a human being. So I'm very disappointed that the guy that I have in my head like cheering me on to get shit done is the guy that's being like, I let my alpha get in the way.
I don't think that it's him though. From what I'm reading right now, it seems it was a lot more about Dwayne would be late showing up stuff because he's fucking busy as shit.
Oh, I
and
thought you
Vin
said it was
took that
Dwayne
as a
saying
slight direct, yeah, and then Vin took that slight as it was directly to him of him being like, "We'll film when I show up. I'm the alpha around here."
And Vin is like executive producer on this shit at this point, and The Rock is a guy that they hired. So like it's even though The Rock is more famous ultimately, like so there's this weird thing there where it's Vin's show, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
This guy's
It's his
coming in
movie.
here. This guy is gonna mess with Vin's show. Like it's nonsense. But like I don't know, Vin Diesel put out an album because he's narcissistic, and like there's just something. I love the guy in certain situations, but yeah, he probably sucks to like be around.
Because apparently Vin even said that he was pissed off, or apparently it came out that he was pissed off about the spinoff, the Hobbs and Shaw spinoff, because Dwayne was in that, and obviously Vin wasn't. So
yeah, like that. I mean, I'm sure like some higher up executives solution them not being able to have these guys in the same room.
But apparently they
one
fixed
of the
it.
challenges is that have they made up?
Apparently Vin invited Dwayne out to be with his family and stuff like that. He's like, my kids call him Uncle Dwayne, stuff like that. And then The Rock said, I'm grateful for that invite. As you know, my goal is always all these years to come into the Fast and Furious world and help elevate the franchise any way that I possibly could. If I could do that, then I've done my job. And now here we are 10 years later. We did it the right way. We did it the smart way. And again, brother, I appreciate your support. So
they're at minimum working on it and not like both committed to being like, nope, he's gotta submit to my ego. Like that's not what's happening there. Okay.
Yeah. I think basically Vin just decided that it was his movie series and that if Rock was going to be there, like he needed to be ready to move whenever he was, not knowing that, Dwayne basically never fucking sleeps. So yeah,
I was gonna say that man is also he's also the most likable person in the world. Like he was recently rated literally as the most likable person in the world.
Yep.
Like I don't follow celebrities on Instagram. I don't care. I care about like museums and things like that. That's what I follow on Instagram. Beautiful places and museums. Like that's what I do. And I follow The Rock because I'm like, this guy's got his shit together.
I follow Vin.
Do you?
That's funny.
Content not great.
One of the most amazing things I think I've ever watched that The Rock was in was behind the scenes with him, Jack Black, and Kevin Hart, and they had this whole like thing where the people, I think it was Screen Rant, maybe, I don't know, wanted them to do this thing where like they were supposed to make fun of each other. And so The Rock was making fun of Jack Black was making fun of Kevin Hart, and Kevin Hart was making fun of, or whatever. Anyways, all three of them were making fun of each other. It just went around, and it was so fucking funny whenever they go to make fun of The Rock and like how he talks and stuff like that on set. And like Kevin Hart, whenever he was doing it, making it look like he's Mr. Big Time. He's like, oh, I'm here. We'll record now. Hey. Get, what's that? That thing over there. Give me that. It was so fucking funny. It's hilarious. I fucking have to send it to you. It's like, it is by far one of the most funniest things I've ever watched in my life, because like it's three guys who are genuinely poking fun at each other and having a fucking great time doing it. Like there's just so many great laughs. Like, I mean, Kevin Hart literally was like crying at one part whenever fucking The Rock was making fun, or whenever Jack Black was making fun of him. And it was just so fucking funny. Oh man. I love Jumanji. That was such a good movie. So good.
All of them were so good. All of them.
Oh man. But yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, I didn't know that they even had this whole fucking big fucking fight going on.
Oh yeah,
Well, I'm
you gotta
glad
keep up
they've-
with Fast and Furious news.
I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
if I'd known, I would have felt feelings, like genuine terrible feelings. I'm so glad to know that they resolved it. Like this was the perfect way for me to find out,
Also,
because I would have had sadness. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I wouldn't count on The Rock appearing in the next movie. Probably won't be.
But maybe the one after that, because they've resolved by that filming?
Maybe, because that one's supposed to be like the last one of the Vin Diesel saga, at least. There's no way they're ending the series of the Dominic Toretto 11 movie saga that'll be at that point, or whatever, 10. Yeah, they're planning to do. I mean, once they go to space, they can't do anything else. So.
Right.
Also, Vin Diesel's like 50-something years old.
They travel through time
still
too.
Incredibly attractive.
Yeah, but he cannot keep it up. Like,
I don't know about that. Have you seen this guy?
Yeah.
I feel very confident with him being like 80 years old and still fucking throwing the same weights that he is now. Like, that dude is a fucking. We are not the same. He's not human. There's just no ifs, ands, buts. We are not the same. He is on a completely different
Make him have
playing
fights
field.
that seem reasonable. Like in this one, he's going to be fighting John Cena, who's like, and like 70-year-old guy cannot be fighting.
I'm sorry, I need somebody to explain a pop culture reference to me. there apparently is a meme about John Cena not being visible.
Yes.
Do you guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Can somebody
Because he
explain this to me?
always used to wear fucking
Can't
camo.
see me. He would do this.
And then that too. Yeah, he would always have like camo shorts and the can't see me thing. So yeah, that's the whole John
From his
Cena.
wrestling times.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Dun,
you.
dun, dun, dun.
I saw a post about Medusa.
Oh my god, is that John Cena?
And then it had like
Yep.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson showing up to look at Medusa and her being like, I don't know what the fuck this is. And somebody misread it as it being John Cena. And they're like, I thought the joke was that Medusa couldn't see him, not that the Rock was already a rock. And it was, yeah, it was funny when it was read, not when I'm explaining it. Sorry, guys.
That's alright.
That was pretty butchered. But apparently there was also a line where Vin Diesel said in Empire magazine, which was back when they first started the feud, was I felt very disrespected about the fact that they said, how are we going to reignite the franchise? Drop Dwayne John Roxon on it. Or Rock Johnson on it. So.
Yeah.
In other words,
Also,
like
they
said his franchise was dying, and then that Dwayne was the only
was.
thing that could fix it. So that's also, I guess,
think
where
they
his
put him in
pride
the-
got hurt.
The fucking best one. Like the fourth one was like a disaster. I mean, as far as I know, maybe the worst made.
So he's been putting his artistic abilities into something, building something, and caring about it genuinely. And in the midst of that, people decided to tell him, sorry, this can't survive on its own. The only thing that can make this survive is this guy that consistently, or at least has shown up late often enough to create friction. And
But
he's
I will
going, this
say-
is my thing. I love this. And like, this guy doesn't give a shit.
Like we see this now as this big Vin Diesel thing, but he skipped 2 of the movies. He was in Fast Furious 1, and then he straight up was not in Too Fast, Too Furious at all.
Nope.
He was in like a post-credit scene, Tokyo Drift. Then he came back. Like it was Paul Walker.
It was Paul Walker's shit,
It
but
was
now
Paul
he's no
Walker's
longer
thing.
here, so...
Yeah,
But
and
Vin
then Vin
Diesel-
kind of overtook him even, but like
Well, Vin Diesel and Paul Walker were genuinely good friends, correct?
Yep.
for sure.
And so I imagine this took on a different, a different life for Vin Diesel post his friend's death, because carrying on that with this sacredness that's been added to it in the solemnity of the situation had to be challenging.
Yeah, in the early series though, like Paul Walker was the main character.
Yeah.
And became a Vin Diesel thing. So, like that was about Brian originally.
Yeah.
It was about him getting in too deep.
Yeah.
So apparently, to wrap it up here, because we're definitely going over time. Apparently, the joke was about the fact that, like, apparently whenever The Rock is on screen, he's always shiny. So they're always making fun of, like, you know, him putting on lotion or whatever. So he comes walking into the barbecue, and the joke's actually about Tyree, not about Ludacris. So when he comes in, Tyrese's character goes, "Hey, Mia, better hide the baby oil." And then The Rock looks at him and goes, "Better hide that big-ass forehead." And Ludacris spits his beer completely out of his mouth because he's in the middle of taking a drink, and it's like that was a completely improvised line. Like, he was supposed to say that, and The Rock was just supposed to stare him down as he walked into the garage to go talk to Vin Diesel's character. They didn't have it written for him to say anything back, and so he was like, "Better hide that big-ass forehead," and then fucking Ludacris just loses it. So, and it's so funny to watch
do remember
him.
that.
It's so funny to watch him do the fake laugh at, like, the obvious written line where he's just like, haha, and then he goes to take the drink, and then Rock says what he does, and then just see him grab his fucking stomach and just shoot beer out of his fucking mouth. And you're like, it was so genuine and so lighthearted, and everybody thought it was so funny. Because even Tyrese, being that kind of actor he is, he did the whole, like, oh, man, that shit ain't fucking funny, like, playing it off. Like, he kept going on with it like he was actually offended by it. And so,
He stayed in
therefore...
character.
Yeah, exactly. So they're all like, we fucking kept it in the movie because it was hilarious. So...
God,
I love shit like that.
absolutely- I love when we find out that certain, like, scenes or lines or things like that were improvised, because so often it's the ones that, like, the fans desperately love, and we're just like, that was fucking hilarious, that come from somebody just improving off the cuff and everybody else being able to stay in character for the moment. I love it.
The Mortal Kombat movie we just watched, Kano's lines were, like, heavily improvised. It was the best part
Oh,
of
man.
all the good
Mortal
stuff.
Kombat. I keep doing that to my daughter all the time. Like, she'll just be laying down, and I'll grab her, and I'll pull her to me, and I'll be like, get over here. She just does the whole, like, It's so
It's the best
fucking
line
funny.
all said.
Yeah.
To get his soul sucked.
Oh yeah, that was.
I'm sorry. You
Yeah.
cut out for a second. I need you to re-say that line. What?
He's about
There is
to
a point
get
at
his
which
soul
a character's
sucked.
soul is about to be sucked out by the sorcerer Shang Tsung. Ball is witnessing this as to Liu Kang, who is the friend of the guy whose soul is about to be sucked. Ball says he's about to get his soul sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Just casually in New York accent, like just, and it's great.
The dialogue in that movie was so fucking bad. Oh, it was so bad. I love that movie though. It was so good to watch the fighting. The fighting was so good. The trash is a good trash movie. I'll give you that. A good trash movie. I still don't think they need to do a franchise. Me and you completely disagree on that one. I still think they should
I need
just
to
end it
see
now.
what the Johnny Cage is. I need them to cast a Johnny
you-
Cage, and then they fuck
no,
it
you
up. Then
don't.
like hell of it, but like
You don't need to see it at all.
the problem is the guy who would have been a good Johnny Cage now like too old to do it. He did they had Joel McHale do it in a cartoon, and he would have been a really good live action Johnny Cage. And
I'm just saying, they came up with a movie about a game that surrounds one thing, a combat tournament, and they completely was like, we're not doing that. We're going to do whatever we can to make sure the tournament doesn't happen.
they're saving for the sequel.
Yeah, sure. Only like literally half the fucking characters are dead at this point.
Also, to be fair, like 7 of those games at this point are not having a tournament anymore. They dropped that
That's what it is.
at this point.
Is what it is. Oh well. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. If you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure you like and subscribe. Also, turn on the notification that way you get notified next time we upload another video. Hit us in the comment section below. Let us know your thoughts and what and your tingle your
Make it
tingle
go
love.
away.
What's even better is that it's even more creepier for the viewers because obviously JoJo has a green screen up and Tingle is 75% green, so it literally is just his
God.
face.
Weird face.
Yeah, it's just his face.
God.
And so it blocks out JoJo. So like within the green, all you see is
Think of
KK. Well, it doesn't show you. It shows KK Slider all throughout his green. Your character behind you, and it's just
Wait,
yeah.
so if you put him in the middle of your face, it's partially JoJo outline and then a break and then his face inside?
Yeah, well, the break is actually KK Slider, the animated dog behind him, like his background that he chose for his character.
Oh God, that's so weird.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. Yeah.
So yeah, that's yeah. But yeah, tell us your favorite Tingle moment.
God, don't. Please, go find something better to talk about.
No context. No context on that. Tell us your favorite Tingle moment.
No, tell us your favorite fungus. Like, no, genuinely, I want somebody to comment, like, this is my favorite fungus. I will lose my fucking mind in joy. I will be so happy. I will go tell my husband, like, this is this person's favorite fungus. And since he doesn't watch our content, he's going to have no idea.
Like, what the fuck does this have to do with me? That's great.
That'd be amazing. I love that.
I just want to be a fly on the wall for that. Like all the times that Kelsey goes to tell Scott about something about Dead Funny and there's no context to it. Just, hey, check this out. Because she's super fucking excited. And he's just like, yeah.
Great, dear. That's nice.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Oh, I love it. It's great. It's fantastic.
He's a good man.
But before we end, I should clear something up because I know I talked about it on one of the podcasts. So as it currently stands at the moment, Dead Funny is not going to be doing a E3 stream, unfortunately. It turns out there are some, hurdles we have to jump, and I don't think that we can do those in the amount of time needed before I've submitted all the paperwork I can. It's in their hands. If it changes, trust me, you guys will be the first to let you know. I'll shoot out a message on not only the YouTube channel, but I'll shoot out a message on the Twitter as well. But what we're currently planning on doing is at least doing a little bit of a highlight because I know a lot of people want to know all kinds of different thoughts about basically at this point me and JoJo. Like there's a lot of like, oh man, dude, with the game's coming out, I want to know what JoJo's going to say about this. I want to know what you're going to say about this. There's a Final Fantasy. I want to hear what both you guys are going to say about 16. I know right now the most popular thing, the opinion with our fan base is that they want Final Fantasy 16 to be shown, me to be heads over heels for it, and for you to just want to shit on it. So, and I was like, man, that would be... Whew.
That seems unlikely.
It does seem very unlikely, but that is what they want to see very bad. Is for me to be like, Final Fantasy 16 looks so good, and for you to just be like,
Nah.
well, not really.
I want to see a Moogle or a Chocobo. I want to see some delightful fantasy creature.
Well, they showed us Chocobo already. We haven't seen a Moogle yet.
Okay.
We saw Chocobo.
Fine.
Yeah, because Clive has the silver Chocobo. Yeah, and he pets it on the beak.
Oh.
But so that's the plan as it currently is that we'll just do like a little upload of some highlights. We're still going to be watching it and recording it and all that fun stuff. We just can't go live, unfortunately. I've looked into other options where people are like, just do a black screen and have people watch it, but there's too much internet lag and different connections, and it's too sticky. Yeah. Whenever you guys could just come to one source and get us and it at the same time, it made sense. But doing all this other, no, I'm not doing that. So I will keep you in the loop on that. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. We'll see you next time.